Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. I'm Lookness Monster. Today we're going to be reviewing the Star Wars The Black Series Super Battle Droid. This is the single release in the Attack the Clones package, and it is looking amazing. Of course, we do have this artwork on the side here, which I absolutely love. That artwork is incredible. Super big, menacing Super Battle Droid. I think it looks great. Flipping around to the back here, we do have that same artwork here, as well as the bio, which you can pause to read if you would like. It is number 6 in the Attack the Clones line, and other than that, there's not a whole lot going on with the box. So let's go ahead, get him out of the box, and take a closer look. So we got the Super Battle Droid out of the box, and I gotta say, he looks incredible. This is the exact same mold that came with the C-3PO and Battle Droid 2-pack, so this is the exact same version, but it just has some different paint apps, no weathering, and it does have some different paint apps on the actual inside of the mold as well. While I do love the previous weathered version we already got, the nice, clean, unweathered version here looks really amazing as well. Let's go ahead, take him off the spinny stand to take a close look at everything this figure has to offer. So taking a close look at the Super Battle Droid here, I gotta say, I love all of the nice paint apps and sculpting that went into this figure. Obviously, like I said, it's the exact same mold as the previous one, but it's that nice, clean, kind of gunmetal gray look. I really like how it turned out. We do have some darker gunmetal grays on some of the joints, as well as the kind of abdomen piece here, while the rest of it is kind of just molded in this sparkly gray plastic, and I think it looks great. Now we do have a little bit of this blue hue on the top of the head, which I didn't think was super accurate at first, but after seeing some photos, it does seem to be kind of accurate. And since this is the exact same mold as the previous version, you can go ahead and actually pop the head off of the figure. And you have this nice sculpt underneath, as well as the chest piece here too, you can pop off. And you do have this amazing detail underneath. Now, of course, this is a reference to the video game Republic Commando, and I'm really glad they decided to put this into the sculpting, because it looks incredible, and there's actually a lot more paint apps on this version than the previous version. So I'm really happy with how they decided to handle that. And of course, we do have the blast effect that comes with it, which can actually separate into two pieces. Now, unfortunately, there is nothing you can do with this piece. The only thing it connects on is with this one. But basically, it's pretty simple to connect. All you have to do here is you line up the two holes here with the two little blaster points here on the wrist. And then you have a nice blaster bolt, which I think looks incredible. It's blast effects and other kind of world building items like this that I really love, and it's an accessory I'm so glad they included with the Super Battle Droid. And of course, if you are wondering, the blast effect is compatible with the previous version as well, so this is the muddy, sandy, weathered version. And it also works with the Separatist blasters, which I think is super freaking cool. So I'm really hoping they find a way to sell these blast effects separately, because I would use so many of them in my collection and with my display. Next up, jumping into articulation. Now I will say there is no head or neck articulation, because this is kind of one solid piece with no points of articulation on it, but looking at the shoulders, it is on a ball joint, so it can go all the way around, and of course it can, get all of the range of motion of a ball joint. I don't believe there's butterflies in there, but I could be wrong. It's just very hard to see if there is. Looking at the elbows here, the elbows can get a great range of motion here, past 90 degrees. And then there's also swivels before the elbow joint and after the elbow joint, so you can pretty much twist all three of these pieces separately, which I think is pretty dang cool. Great range of motion there. Looking at the wrists, there is a twist here, but kind of the wrist here gets in the way, but it does have, of course, the pivot here on the wrist. Looking at the abs, it is on a ball joint, but kind of a limited range of motion there. Now looking at the hips, there is that ball joint at the pelvis again, so tons of range of motion there. And you also do have that swivel at the thigh, which is cool. As far as up and down goes, you're going to get a ton of range of motion here on that ball joint, because there's not a whole lot of sculpt to get in the way, so front and back you get a ton. Now unfortunately you don't get as much without, but I don't really think you need your Super Battle Droid doing the splits too much. As far as knees go, he does get it well past 90, and of course he does have rockers and a pivot at the ankle. First up for comparisons, we do have the previous Super Battle Droid on the right with all the weathering, and on the left we have the brand new Deluxe Droideka. Both of these are looking incredible, and if you asked me a year ago if we're going to have this incredible of like a Separatist army here, I would have said no, so it's really great to get all three of these figures together, and they are really looking spectacular. Next up here we do have the Geonosian Battle Droid on the right and the Battlefront 2 Heavy Battle Droid on the left. And both these figures look great next to Super Battle Droid as well. Next up here we do have them next to the Standard Battle Droid on the right and the Republic Commando Battle Droid on the left. Both of these are looking great and they're awesome designs, and I think they go great next to the Super Battle Droid. Next up we do have the one and only General Grievous on the left. We have the Magna Guard on the right. I think all three of these look great together, but I do think Grievous is looking a little bit underscaled next to this big Super Battle Droid. But overall it's still not too bad, and I think they look great together. Next up here we do have the one and only Count Dooku on the right. We have just the standard Phase 2 Clone Trooper on the left, looking pretty solid. And then Count Dooku is kind of known for having his Super Battle Droids flank him, so I wanted to get a shot here of two Super Battle Droids next to him, looking really dang good. If you're gonna buy a Super Battle Droid, this is one of the big reasons why. So yeah, I'm absolutely in love with this figure. Like I said, we've already got it before, so I knew kind of what to expect going into it, but I do love that nice, clean, kind of straight off the factory look of this Super Battle Droid. And of course, it does have a few more paint apps than the previous version did too, so I'm liking those additions as well. Now granted, I don't really think he needed any accessories, but I think the inclusion of the blast effect really bumps it up to legendary status, and that blast effect is so versatile. You can use it on your other Super Battle Droids or even your standard Battle Droid, so I really do love that about it, and it's just a really nice world building accessory that I'd love to see more of in the future from Hasbro. Overall, I definitely give it a 5 out of 5. I highly recommend this figure. It's one of my favorites of the year. And if you don't have it yet, I highly suggest you guys go out and try to get it because it is such dang good figure. That is going to do it for this review though, so if you did enjoy, go down, hit the like button, subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Thank you so much for watching.